going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Craftavore Tastes. I'm your host, Max. And today we are digging into another beer from my buddy Andrew out in Evanston, Illinois. Pretty excited about this one, actually, because when Andrew sent this one across, I took a look immediately at, kind of like the recipe and, how this beer was made and, what the beer is. And I was like, wow, interesting. Never heard of that before. And so today we are digging into a beer from Mikerphone, brewing out of Chicago, Illinois. So another super kind of, hype brewery in the Chicagoland area. This is Drunken Lullaby. Take a look at that big, huge bottle. And Drunken Lullaby is an Irish milkshake IPA with vanilla, lactose, and coffee. So I've certainly had my fair share of milkshake IPAs, the vast majority of them coming obviously from Tired Hands. Never had like an Irish coffee or an Irish milkshake version with vanilla, lactose, and coffee. So I'm super interested to dive into this one. This one sounds kind of wild. Seems pretty cool. Who knows, man? Could be unbelievable. I know kind of milkshake IPAs and that kind of whole concept with lactose is somewhat polarizing out there, right? Like some people absolutely love them. For Tired Hands, I would probably say that's their, get the most lines in terms of the longest line for releases for them. And then there's some people out there that absolutely despise the entire idea. So whatever. We're going to dive into this one and give it a go. So 7.5% ABV. So, IPA and almost kind of in some degree just slightly below that double IPA territory. Obviously, double IPAs used to be, significantly 8% and above, but you're, seeing a lot of people kind of brew double IPAs at like that 7.5. Anyway, so it's listed as an IPA, so that's pretty much what it is. Again, so let's go ahead and get into the drill, man. Let's go ahead and pop a top on this one, get it into a glass, take a look at the appearance, get the aroma, taste it, and then, of course, rate it. All right, so let's go ahead and get that top off. Get it straight into a glass. Ooh, geez. Huh. Wow. That is, it's an interesting color. So beer pours a, wow, what's the best way to describe it? A muddy, brownish tinted kind of gold color, right? Like it's not brown, right? But I mean, it's a muddy, muddy kind of gold. There's a portion of it where even kind of the look from it probably doesn't, show it on camera. It's maybe getting a little even more lighter, but just looking at it straight up here, it's almost like grayish. So like gray dishwater. Yeah. Not the most aesthetically pleasing looking color I've seen before, but, hey, interesting beer nonetheless. Really no head whatsoever, so let's kind of go ahead and try to kind of move this thing up a little bit. Yeah, to be perfectly honest with you, not really even just, maybe not even a quarter finger of a head there. That's dissipating pretty quickly. From the looks of it, I don't know. Doesn't look the greatest to me, just by color, but hey, it is what it is. Hazy, right? New England style kind of IPA, muddy, dishwater kind of looking. Interesting. All right, so let's go ahead and get ourselves an aroma. Okay. Huge coffee up front. Coffee dominant. Definitely getting like lactose. So here's the kind of coffee that you're getting out of this. It isn't kind of like a deep roast kind of coffee. What it smells like is when you kind of mix in a little bit of that sweetness from the lactose and a little bit of sweetness of that vanilla. It reminds me in smell of a coffee with like 2 sugars, like one you get at the deli, right? So for folks that are based in the Northeast, you'll probably be pretty familiar with Carton Brewing's regular coffee, which was essentially a imperial cream ale that was designed, specifically to actually have the mimic and taste of basically like, those blue old school cup of coffees, regular coffee, right? A little milk and 2 sugars. It smells similar to that. I wouldn't necessarily say that it smells as good as regular coffee. It does not. Regular coffee is an imperial. I believe it's almost near 11 or 12%. So you get a little bit more of that pronounced sweetness. Not so much here. For lack of a better term, it kind of smells a little bit like stale coffee, right? With a little bit of vanilla and lactose and kind of milk sweetness mixed in. All right, so interesting. Let's go ahead and give her a taste. Andrew, thanks so much for this very interesting bottle. Appreciate it, man. Cheers. Oh, okay. Wow. So, taste is sweet. A lot more sweet than I got off the nose. And that vanilla, so if the nose is extremely kind of stale-ish coffee, kind of heavy, the taste is very vanilla forward. I'm going to go back in for another sip. Yeah. So the taste is extremely vanilla forward. And kind of what you're getting is that you're getting kind of like that vanilla kind of sweetness kind of melding in there with a bit of that lactose and then kind of mixing a little bit with that coffee. And what's coming out to me when you meld all those things together is butterscotch. I don't really get any particular hops or anything of that note. No particular hop flavors. It's really hard for me to like discern that this would be an IPA, honestly. There's no residual sweetness or anything like that. It's butterscotch, toffee in the flavor, no really kind of lingering bitterness or anything like that. But very kind of sweet, and even on the palate, it almost gets mocha-ish a little bit, which is, it's odd. It's an odd bird. I'm going in for one more sip, then we'll give this one a rating. Yeah. Okay. So, I had a feeling that this one could be interesting, if I put it. I don't like it. Simply put, maybe this would be for some people. I don't think this is really an accurate representation of the quote-unquote milkshake style, right? Tired Hands has kind of got that recipe down pat, right? Dominating it. Those beers, for me, I actually happen to love them a lot. This beer is a bit of a mess. Again, as I kind of mentioned, it's stale kind of, well, for looks. The appearance is not exactly the most pleasing thing in the world, right? It's that kind of, really kind of murky, kind of muddy, brownish, grayish, kind of, like I said before, like gray water. So it's not the most aesthetically pleasing from an appearance standpoint. The nose is decent, but as I mentioned again, it lends itself to a little bit more towards kind of like a stale coffee, right? Like if you left coffee in your coffee machine, or at work, you left it in the filter overnight and you came back in, that kind of smell, which isn't the greatest either. And then the taste, just kind of, it's toffee, it's butterscotch, it's sweet, it's not my thing. All right, so that's the way that it goes. So rating for the Craftavore Tastes, gotta be honest with this one. I am going to give this beer a 3 caps. Yeah. Doesn't do it for me, and it doesn't really check off the box on anything from appearance, aroma to taste. But hey, might be somebody out there who really kind of digs it, man. So that's it for me today. Sorry about that. 3 caps from the Craftavore Tastes. I hope you join me again, where I drink, I review, I rate, and then I repeat. Cheers, guys.